Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, the topic which I chose to write about today is all which is wrong with the legal system. And I want to do a video about this where I can elaborate on some of these topics. Law should be free of villainy. Courts should be a bastion of justice. Yet there is no more corrupt profession and industry than the legal system. All while they all chant rule of law. I just get so tired. We are rule of law, the rule of law, the rule of law. They say that all the time. Who knows how corrupt this system is? Everyone. The public opinion polls of lawyers reflects the level. All judges, by the way, are lawyers. Here is a non-exhaustive list of all which is wrong with the legal system. Number one, the governing bodies of the profession, the so-called bar associations, limit and restrict attorney free speech against the system and the courts. Now think about that. The people who know the most about what's wrong with the system and the court system are restricted from speaking out. It's unbelievable. They also create rules and rules and rules to control lawyers so much they're hamstrung. They're bull-tied. They can't get away. They can't say and do anything. It's truly incredible. The bar associations are controlled by the large civil defense. By the way, everything I'm saying, you ask any lawyer, friend of yours, and you ask them if what I'm saying is not true. Not from a big law firm, but your solo practitioners. The bar associations are controlled by large civil defense and corporate law firms. These firms rarely suffer any professional consequences to their unethical actions. Their small and solo law firm adversaries bear the brunt. When the Butcher of Pakistan comes out, it's going to blow you away about how this works. True story. There is a rule that Ohio has that any pending legal issue with the bar, it's stayed. They don't investigate it until the legal matter is over, i.e. the Durrani litigation. Well, guess what? The Ohio Disciplinary Council doesn't apply that standard to Deters law. They do apply it to all the corrupt civil defense attorneys on the other side. I mean, I'm not lying. It is the truth. They suspend any investigation of them, but not us. It's been going on for 10 years. Litigation does not move fast enough. Can you imagine having your life, like these Durrani victims, your life, your business, tied up in litigation, which is going to take years? Years? It shouldn't take years. Judges do not decide and move fast enough. Now, some of that isn't their fault. They got too many cases and they need more help. And one of the things that I support is funding to more judges. However, here's what I'm talking about. There are so many times that a judge could listen to the arguments and make a decision. Instead, they take it over under advisement. And that just delays the whole process more and more. Judges ought to be able to make decisions faster, and they don't. The power of the jury has been destroyed with focus on mediation, arbitration, and so-called alternative dispute resolution. It really has. Juries work because it scares the hell out of everybody. And they keep whittling away at the jury. Judicial campaigns from top to top breed bias and corruption. Who do you think can fund judicial campaigns? Large civil defense firms or little lawyers? You guessed it. Also, judges come from prosecutorial backgrounds, law and order. So what do you think happens in criminal defense cases? You got it. Law, like healthcare, has become corporate, not a profession. Once upon a time, doctors were doctors. It was a profession. Lawyers were lawyers. It was a profession. No more. It's all business, business, business. It's all become corporate, corporate, corporate. And a lot of bad and evil things have come as a result. Law schools are doing a lousy job of training lawyers. I'm going to tell you something. As somebody who has hired countless law clerks and young lawyers out of law school, I am blown away These guys can't write pleadings, draft pleadings. They can't show up in court and talk. It blows me away how poorly trained lawyers are. It is the most frustrating thing in the world. Most lawyers are lazy and focus on money, not causes. That is the truth from top to freaking bottom, with few exceptions. I want to stress this. There are some very good, honest, conscientious lawyers out there. They're just by far the minority. By far the minority. Criminal defense lawyers frighten clients with the intent to justify higher fees. I see this going on all the time. They know that the client's going to get to plead guilty to something less, but they scare the hell out of them to get more money. Divorce lawyers do the same thing, churning that work. Most lawyers bill by the hour, and they bill by the fragmented hour, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. And they're just so dishonest, and this is not even funny. I can tell you right now, if you're doing billable work, or you hire a lawyer, and a lawyer puts down, I worked on legal research for 4 hours. You can't check that. He could be on the damn golf course and write 4 hours, and they do it all the time. I'm blown away how lawyers bill these increments and just cheat the hell out of people. There's a great disparity in justice for large corporations compared to individuals. Does that shock you? No. The profession is more concerned about lawyers getting along than lawyers advocating for their clients. This is a pet peeve of mine and my whole problem with the Bar Association. They want lawyers to get along. Are you kidding me? You're fighting this large law firm and this evil corporation, fighting for this little guy, and you're giving it all you have. Well, they want you to get along. You need to get along with these evil bastards. It's a joke. There is so civility in the legal profession. What that means? Control. Back in the day, they didn't have all these freaking rules. Lawyers could be lawyers, argue and fight like hell. What's the big deal? There's no big deal. Let lawyers fight and argue. Lawyers don't have to get along. Why should lawyers get along if they're opposing views? Makes no sense at all. None whatsoever. They want the profession to be robots. They want every lawyer to walk and talk like a lawyer. Lawyers sell out clients for their best interest instead of the client's best interest all the time. Lawyers have a caring problem. They try to tell you in law school and train young lawyers, now listen, it's a business, it's a profession. You shouldn't care too much about your client. Oh, bullshit. You should care like hell about your client. You could you should really care about your clients. Totally opposite of what they train you. The profession is filled with egos as they pass around countless useless awards to each other. The amount of time they spend on giving out this award, this award, this award, it makes you vomit. The court and legal system is very much part of the woke crowd. COVID exposed it more than ever before. So true. The legal system is very woke, very democratic. If you notice any mass vaccine issues, all that stuff, the court system, boy, they're all in it. The law creates complicated systems that cause delay and enrich lawyers. Bankruptcies, this morass of complications, probate systems, workers' comp systems. So, all these systems that they create, and all it does is make lawyers money. Makes your life hell, lawyers money. There are so many unfair laws passed by legislatures and Congress at the behest of large law firms, and then they turn around and make money representing those interests. Goes back to that complicated pit. The so-called plaintiffs' attorneys representing injured become factories for the quick buck. I dislike the plaintiffs' bar associations as bad as the defense bar associations. They crack me up. They act like that they're, no, they're not. It's all about the freaking money. And you talk about some freaking egos. There needs to be more funding for judges. There are some good, competent, capable judges in our community, and we need funding to have more. You're not going to get faster justice without more judges so the work can get done. Then, despite there being a lot of very good judges, there is a competency problem with a lot of judges. There really is. Some of these judges. I'm going to tell you a story about one of them this week probably. I've been putting it off. I close my article with this. I suspect nearly everyone has an awful lawyer or court experience. It's impossible for every lawyer to be perfect. I've made mistakes. I've regretted some action and inaction. I look back on some of the cases I had when I was younger and think, God, I wish I would have handled that different. However, by the way, I can tell you this, I have never one time lied, cheated, and defrauded a client. Not once. Not one time. However, the profession needs an overhaul. As governor of Kentucky, I'll do all I can in Kentucky and Ohio and the country. How do you say? Listen, if you're the governor of Kentucky, you have power. You don't think I'm going to have some friends in the legislature? You don't think I'm going to have some friends in the judiciary? You don't think that as governor of Kentucky, I can't contact other states and say, hey, this is an issue for me. We need to solve the legal issues. Northern Kentucky's right next to Cincinnati. I'm telling you right now, I will use, this is a platform. This is part of my governor's platform. This affects everybody. By the way, I tested it out at Freedom Fest. I said, how many of y'all like lawyers? They all, for 8,000 people, booed. I'm telling you, everybody's got a bad experience with the legal and court system. It's wrong, and it's status quo. They don't change it. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope you have a great day.